Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today, let's predict SoFi Technologies stock. I am a swing investor, and I will not consider the price changes of a stock 1 month later. This channel only makes short-term price predictions for stocks, usually 1 to 3 weeks. Welcome to subscribe to this channel. SoFi Technologies stock rebounded on Friday, which makes the stock still technically in an uptrend, but a weak uptrend, because the stock seemed to have been sold off by bearish forces last Wednesday and Thursday, causing the current uptrend of the stock to be slightly damaged. The trading volume of the stock from Monday to Wednesday was significantly enlarged, but the stock price did not rise further on the basis of Tuesday, which shows that the bulls of the stock are not willing to further push up the stock price. The sharp correction of the stock price on Thursday caused the stock to be passive at present, but the short selling may not end yet. From the 30-minute chart of the stock, we can see that the stock fell deeply after the company announced its first quarter results on April 30th, and then the stock price rebounded slowly until the consolidation cycle ended on May 9th. A large amount of long capital should intervene in the stock again during this cycle, so $12.40 has become a key support position for the stock. The stock price rose further and the trading volume increased significantly from May 12th to 14th, but the signal of capital selling during the session was very obvious, and it seemed that a large amount of funds had flowed out of the market. The stock price rebounded again on May 16th, indicating that the market does not want the stock price to fall further, but if the stock price rises further, the stock will also face certain resistance, because there are already a large number of locked positions in the current price of the stock to the $14.70 area, so I doubt whether the stock can break through the $14.70 level. Through the position distribution of the stock, we can see that most of the current positions of the stock are distributed in the $12.40 to $14.70 area. In the past 5 trading days, the stock's position volume in the $13.30 to $14.70 area has increased significantly, and the current price of the stock is at the lower end of this area, which seems to be a bit passive for the bulls, but has not yet lost its position. As mentioned earlier, if a lot of money exits the market from Monday to Wednesday, the stock may not be able to break through this area. On the other hand, if the stock price breaks through the $14.70 level, the next target price of the stock may be around $15.50, but does the current market support the stock to rise by another 11%? I doubt it. Of course, if the stock price falls, the support position of the stock is also very obvious. $12.40 to $13.30 is a key support area, and there is a high possibility that bulls will block bears again in this area. Let's take a look at the recent comments of analysts on SoFi stock. Recently, Bank of America analyst Mihir Bhatia reiterated his sell rating on SoFi stock with a target price of $13. The analyst pointed out that SoFi's business momentum continues, which is reflected in the record 800,000 new members in the first quarter of 2025 and stable per capita product prices. But he believes that the stock is overly reasonably priced, which makes him pause investment in an uncertain macro environment. In contrast, Mizuho analyst Dan Dolev reiterated a buy rating on SoFi stock with a $20 price target after an investor lunch with SoFi's CEO and CFO. The analyst noted that management is optimistic about the company's ability to withstand macroeconomic uncertainty, as evidenced by the company's improving credit metrics. Overall, Wall Street analysts remain positive on SoFi Technologies stock, giving a composite rating of buy, with 50% of buy ratings based on data from 12 analysts over the past 3 months. These analysts gave SoFi stock an average price target of $14.40, with a high of $20 and a low of $6. This is the data for SoFi stock options based on the distribution of strike prices expiring on May 23rd. It is clear that the stock has a higher proportion of call options trading volume. The strike price range with a higher proportion of call options trading volume is between $13.50 and $15. The strike price range with a higher proportion of put options trading volume is between $13 and $14. This reflects that most investors believe that the stock could still hit the $15 level in the short term. Many large company stocks fell sharply in after-hours trading on Friday, which seems to be related to Moody's downgrade of the U.S. sovereign debt rating. Moody's rating agency downgraded the U.S. government's previously top credit rating on Friday, citing persistent large fiscal deficits and no signs of slowing down. Moody's said, "Successive U.S. administrations and Congress have failed to agree on measures to reverse the trend of large annual fiscal deficits and rising interest costs." It added that persistent large fiscal deficits will push up the government's debt and interest burden. Despite the downgrade, Moody's also said that the U.S. outlook remains stable. Will this news cause the stock market to reverse its recent upward trend? I think it is possible, but I also think this effect is a short-lived one because the United States has significant economic and financial strength. SoFi shares also fell nearly 3% in after-hours trading on Friday, which almost gave up Friday's gains. It seems that a lot of money has flowed out of the market when the stock was at a high level in the past week, which is a worrying sign. Will the bears use the news of Moody's downgrade of the U.S. sovereign debt rating to try to push the stock price down? I think this is possible, and the stock seems to support this judgment technically. In summary, I see the selling pressure faced by the stock recently, so I think the stock may not have much room to rise further, and I don't expect the stock price to break through the $14.70 level. Then the stock will enter a correction or downtrend, but it is expected that the bulls will stop the selling of the bears in the $12.40 to $13.30 area and push the stock price to rebound again. But investors still need to be cautious in this area, because if the market sells off severely, it is possible to fall below $12.40. Okay, guys, this is my price prediction for SoFi Technology stock. Thank you for watching. If you agree with my analysis, please share and subscribe to my channel, and see you in the next video.